Let me show you how easy it is to assemble a complex book, including covers, different media, tabs, and different finishing for a book that needs to be completed as one complete book using JobMaster. So I'm going to start by in Command Workstation, right click and go into JobMaster. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select these pages that has the red tab on it, which is a bookmark. And I'm going to chapterize this entire job. And you'll see why I'm going to do that in a minute. Every place where there is a bookmark, in this particular case, I'm just going to make it a chapter start. Okay, I think I've got them all. Well, first one here. And then what I'm going to do is go to Actions, and I'm going to say Chapter Start. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is, in here, I'm going to go to Chapters and Bookmarks, and I'm going to say Insert a Tab. And what that's going to do is that's going to put a tab every place where there was a bookmark. And you can see it automatically grab the names of the bookmarks as the tab titles. And while I'm in here, I could do things like change the bold of the font. I can change this to a different font. And I can also change the size of the font. And I can change the color of the font. Now, when I do this, notice that it only changes the one that I had highlighted. But if I click here and say apply all the styles to all, it'll change all of them. Okay, now that's good. Then what I'm going to do is over here to the right, I'm going to say that I want to do some different finishing, and I want to do it by chapters. And you notice now it breaks this job up into chapters. So now I've got the book completely chapterized. And you may be saying, why do I want to do that? Well, maybe it's because each section requires a different type of finishing. It's a different section. Maybe hole punch is needed in some sections, right? And you notice it adds hole punch to every section. But if there's a section that doesn't require hole punch, I could simply unselect it. Okay. And maybe some sections require stapling. So I'm going to say left staple. Again, it adds stapling to every, but maybe it's not only needed on uh, some of them. And you can go deselect where it doesn't need the stapling feature. So far, so good. The other thing I'm going to do is, and I can do this in two places. I can do it here or I could do it over here. This first page and this last page, maybe these get printed on different media. So I am going to select the first in the page, the first page in this PDF and the last. I'm going to right click and I'm going to assign the media to the media that I want this to print on. And I'm going to select this 270 GSM. And then for all the rest of the pages, I could just select those pages and I'm going to put those on just regular media. By the way, maybe a little trick I should show you here is when you're doing something like that, what you could do is if you just want to view the pages and not where all the tabs are, you could do this. That's showing you only your tab view, okay? But for my case, I want all of the media. And I probably should have done this before I did the tabs, to be honest, because then I won't have to do what I am doing, which is, okay. I'm not going to do all of them, you get the hint. But now what I've got is if I was to print this job, now what it's going to happen is the cover page is going to pull, tab is going to pull, the regular pages throughout this book, and then it's going to carry out the subset finishing. I can even do things like select a section. Maybe this section alone is going to be two-sided. I can turn sections on and off for two-sided. And you see how it's changed everything. So now if I print this book, it's going to be a completed book. It's going to have a cover on the front and back. It's going to have the tabs in between each bookmark. and it's going to be two-sided in the sections where it's supposed to be, which is here. This is still one-sided. That's what this blank page is showing you. Because if I went and selected this next section, you would see if I select this and say two-sided, that'll also change. Boom. So now all I have to do to print this job is close this, tell it that I want it back into the queue with these settings, and it will complete this job, put it in the queue, and now I can print. That's that easy to set up a complex book like that in Job Master with a Firey.